Hey guys, this is me, CCCS Racing Network here. Recently I put a community post suggesting what video I should make next, waiting for the Darlington race to come out. And majority of you said in the community post I should review some smaller NASCAR submission creators, and that's what we're here to do today. That's what we're here to do today. Today I'm going to shout out smaller NASCAR submission creators that deserve way more attention and views that they already have. Now, before I get started, I will say this. Don't go commenting down below saying, can I be in the next one, or if you're not in this, because, well, I don't know if I'll actually do a part 2 to this. We'll see. If the video gets a lot of attention and people like it, then I will do a part 2 to this, but for now, I decided to pick out 10 creators who I think are very underrated and deserve more attention, and shout them out here. These 10 I have picked out specifically as people who I don't see anyone actually talking about, but I see. So without further ado, let's get into our first creator. So the first creator I have is Redcar Cup Series. This is his latest race. Everyone's race I'll show are their latest races. This is his Richmond race. Now for every submission creator, I'll give pros and cons to what they do well at and what they else can improve on, firstly. First of all, the graphic here. I really like the fastest car in track. That's something I see no other creator at all do. Obviously, it's a new rule that NASCAR came up with this year for the fastest lap bonus. I really like the uniqueness of it. I really do. Very unique. Stop motion, I think it's pretty smooth. It's definitely, it's really good for what it is. You can tell what the cars are doing. They're all over the track. And all that. No, it's very smooth. It's not choppy, but it's not bad at all. I do like that you're also showing battles around the top 5 as well. Not always showing the race leader. You are showing battles just around top 5. Like here, like Ryan Blaney, again around Alex Bowman here. Just found I believe this is the 4th position on the racetrack. I'm not too sure on that. I believe it's 4th. Yeah, it's 4th with Barry's throw. Didn't go in a second. I think one thing you could probably improve on is definitely the graphic. I maybe try and make it a little bit smaller, and maybe also having me a top 3 at the bottom, so we know like who is currently in the top 3 now. Because I am kind of confused on where everyone is. And you also see the graphic does too. It's a bit big because obviously the cars are going behind it and that. Another thing I also probably would improve on is maybe the racetrack. That's more of a nitpick, but I think you can do a bit more on the racetrack. It's a little bit rough. It's not bad, but I think there's a bit more work you can kind of put in there. I think there's some cover spots there you can kind of work on. And one other thing I would mention as well, probably not show the race leader a lot because Royal focus on the race leader quite a bit. Maybe like focus on maybe other battles, just maybe outside top 5 in that. And not just focus on Austin Dillon or whoever is leading the race at the time. Other than that, this is a really good creator. Definitely go check out Redcar Cup Series if you haven't yet, and we're going to move on to our next creator here. Now here's someone I don't think anyone has heard of before, Diecast Racing Network. I only heard of him like, yesterday when one of his races kind of popped in the recommendeds. And oh my goodness, I wish I found him earlier. This is really good. I love the smooth of the stop motion. It's very smooth. I love the addition of the catch fencing. That's something a lot of people, bigger creators use. The camera angles. Oh my goodness. I love the camera angles. I love that bumper cam on that 21 car just shoving Logano. It reminds me very much of Pepsi Cup Series camera angles. Be on board. That is really good. I like how racy it is. A little bit too much there with Bell and Logano, but the racing is really good. It's very competitive. Obviously, Atlanta is a very competitive racetrack, and I just love it. It's just peak Atlanta, peak stop motion. Also, when you run a new camera, look at this camera. Look at that. Just the camera itself. No cameraman, but that's effort, man. That takes a lot. I love that. However, there are maybe a few things you could improve on, specifically with the graphics. I would personally maybe add a lap counter on the right-hand corner, so we know what lap we're on. I mean, there is a lap counter. You can just come up right now, right there, but it goes away like really quickly. I would personally maybe add a lap counter just at the right top end corner, just showing what lap we're on. Maybe put the DRN logo maybe at the bottom of the screen, just because it's just not as useful there. And also with the graphics as well, I probably would put maybe add a border around and maybe add a first, second, third, and fourth, just so we'll know who's in which positions. But other than that, this is really good. Go check out Diecast Racing Network. This race is amazing. Look, here's a caution for a man climbing the fence. Now that is unique. Go subscribe to Diecast Racing Network. This is really good. I have personally nothing in stop motion. Just adjust the graphic just a little bit. Other than that, go check out Diecast Racing Network. This is just an amazing race. And we'll move on to our next race. Another creator I want to talk about is NASCAR Coca-Cola Racing Network. I know now he is more recognizable, but I don't think he gets that much attention a lot, so I'm going to shout him out here. Very, very smooth stop motion. I will firstly say that. The stop motion is very smooth. I really like it. The graphics as well at top, very similar to mine, though he made his first, so I can't judge. Also really good. I also like the starting lineup graphics. Very remind me of the old Fox graphics from like the early 2000s. That I really did appreciate as well. I also like the toothpicks. I believe that's what they're called, toothpicks, to indicate catch fencing. It's not catch fencing, but I like that you can tell that there is catch fencing with the toothpicks there. Very, very smooth. The track as well looks really good to walk into Glen. I also like the kind of scenery around the racetrack, the bridge over the racetrack. I love the addition of that. I will say, I think the only criticism I have is that the cars are a bit too kind of close together here. They are kind of close together. Obviously, like Glen Racing, the field kind of gets spread out a lot. And that is kind of an issue with Coca-Cola Racing Network. You do kind of have your cars close together a lot, but I will give you credit. You have been working on that a lot in your recent races, so I will not judge you on that. So just a little bit more. I will say just spread the cars out just a tad bit more, and then it'd be perfect then. Other than that little nitpick, well, not nitpick, it's just kind of something I would improve on. That is it. This is really good. Go check out Coca-Cola Racing if you haven't yet, because the emotions are really good. And yeah, and we're going to move on to our next creator. Next up is my man, Solomon Mascherli. He might be a little bit known, but I'm going to give him a shout out here anyway, because I don't think his emotions get the attention they deserve. And why aren't they? This is very, very smooth. Very smooth emotion. Crisp, if you ask me. I love how smooth that bumper run was. Very, very smooth. Just the action is race. Very action-packed. Obviously, it's mindful standards, not like wrecking into everyone. Not like that one Xfinity Series race. But it's very, very smooth. Very action-packed. And also the commentating as well. I really love your commentating this race specifically. Very reminded me of Speed Cup Stop Motion. Speed Cup Stop Motion when he just yells at toy cars going in circles. Gave me a few laughs there with the commentary. But for the good. Just how good it is. For all the goods, though, I will say there is just a few improvements you could do. Specifically more of the graphics. I don't mind the type graphics at all, but maybe you can like find a way to kind of like put them like in a box or something. Maybe some sort of box graphic. Just so they don't blend into the background a little bit. I know they're red, but just try not to try and blend them into the background will still be appreciated. It does look a little bit neat and tidy there. And also, one other thing, which is more of a nitpick, or maybe something you can work on in the future, is try and make the races just a little bit longer, because they are short. Now, I know Solomon on YouTube quite a bit. We do talk off YouTube. I don't say off YouTube, but I do talk to him a few times. I understand why his races are a little bit more shorter, but if you could maybe, in the future, maybe try and start making races a little bit more longer, maybe like 10 laps, 12 lap races. Maybe something that's just something to think about like for your future races. But other than that, go check out Solomon Mascherli. Very underrated, definitely deserves more. Go check out his races. Yeah, we'll move on to our next creator here. Go check out Solomon. Next up, we got BPSCS Racing. Try and say that 10 times in a row. One of the more newer creators that have come out of Stop Motion recently, but I'm gonna give it a shout anyway because why not? This Stop Motion, it's very smooth. I really like how smooth the Stop Motion is. You can tell what everyone's doing, you can tell what's going on and all that. Another thing I also appreciate as well is the custom logos. The Mountain Dew 500 Talladega of the little green emoji there. I really like that. I like to see a tutorial video of how you make your logos because they're pretty good. Very interesting things there. Track itself is also pretty good. Really, it definitely looks like Talladega, though I probably need to start finishing it just a little bit more because it's kind of just right at the exit of the grass end of the rival, just to say. I really have nothing else to say. The Stop Motion is very smooth. There are a few things it is one thing I definitely improve on though, and that's again the graphics. They blend into the background really badly. The white and stuff. I definitely, if you're gonna do that, I definitely would change the color to maybe a black, just so it doesn't blend into the background a lot. Because your track, obviously, most of the track is in white. so that obviously the graphics going to blend in a lot with the lap counter. So I definitely would change the color of it, or maybe at best maybe try and put a border around the leader and the lap counter as well. And if you also could do so, maybe try maybe add like maybe a top 3 at the bottom, just so we know who's currently running top 3, even though we can't see on the screen. That's what I would personally do. Another thing as well I also would try and work on is some different camera angles, because I do see the overlooking camera angle a bit too much. So I definitely would maybe try and experiment with some different camera angles, maybe like a low camera angle down the back straightaway, or maybe like infield shots camera angles. That is it though. That is the only 2 things I will say. Everything else you're doing is really good. Maybe one other nitpick, probably maybe paint the track in grey and not white. That's something I would do. But other than that, really good stop motion. Go check out Bass Pro Shop Cups. Go check out Bass Pro Shop Cup Series. And we'll move on to our next creator. Another YouTuber here that is pretty well known, but doesn't really get the views he deserves, and that's Dow Cup Series. Why? This is very smooth stop motion. Very smooth. I don't understand how he's not getting that many views. This Don's race here, this latest race, doesn't even have 200 views. That's crazy to think of. This is very, very smooth stop motion. You can tell what's going on. The car is all choosing all over the place. They're going top, bottom, what lanes they like, I guess. Very, very smooth. The track itself also is really well made as well. Really do like this. The graphic on top as well also is really good. I love the graphic up there. Reminds me of NBC a bit. Even that spin ball is also very smooth. Just very, very good stop motion. Though I will say this, I think one critique I will give you is the graphic itself. No, it's not bad, I don't get me wrong, it's not bad at all, but sometimes it does block the camera just a little bit. You're going to see an example of it right here on this restart. You see that Eric Jones getting turned. It kind of happens just behind the graphics, so I definitely would maybe raise the camera just a little bit, just so the graphic doesn't get in the way that badly. But that is it. That is the only critique I have. And also as well, the no commentating as well. I'm not going to judge the no commentary because a few other YouTubers don't really commentate over the races, which I don't have a problem with, so I'm not going to judge that over Dow here. He is well known for having commentary, so I'm not judging him there. But other than that, go check out Dow Cup Series. Very, very smooth. Check out his channel if you haven't yet, and we're going to move on to our next creator here. Good job, Dow. Next up, we have CCCS Racing. Try to say that 10 times in a row. Yes, and then yes, another Coca-Cola Cup Series. Let's do in this video. This is his Coca-Cola race, his latest race, obviously. I love how smooth this stop motion is. I love how smooth it is. Very quick paced. Some people hate it. Some people don't mind it. I'm personally in the don't mind it section. You can tell what's going on. It's very competitive as well. I love how the leads are changing kind of every lap. You kind of don't know who's the dominant car, which I'll talk about that in a minute. Right there. There are a few things though I would definitely work on. Number one, definitely the stages. I don't have any problem with you adding stages, don't have that, but maybe you could like maybe add a box at the bottom to show who got stage points, because we just kind of blow past the stages and we don't know who got stage points or who is eligible for stage points. Maybe it's top 10, top 5, top 3, we don't know. So I would definitely maybe add like a graphic down there whenever a stage ends, just to show who got stage points in that. And also another thing as well, I definitely would maybe, as much as I like the competitive racing, I definitely would maybe have some races where you can tell who like the dominant cars are, are on the race. For example, let's say we're racing at Charlotte and the best cars to race are like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, like Ryan Blaney. You can tell those guys are the best cars all day long because they're all day racing up front all day long. Obviously, you can have like other guys, maybe like William Byron, Tyler Reddick, spread them up front, maybe here and there. But like for the most part, it's like Larson, Blaney, and Elliott just kind of racing at that front. Obviously, don't have to do that. That's actually just don't tell my suggestion about that. But just something, just that little suggestion right there. Just a little suggestion what you could do. So it's not always like trying to lead this guy and changing every single lap. We just don't know who's the dominant car of the race. Other than that, though, really good stop motion here. Go check out CCS Racing if you haven't yet, and move on to our next creator. Next up is a creator that I don't think many people or really any have heard of, unless you obviously watched some shoutouts back then for any OG fans, or if I have any fans. This is Harvick99, or back then as he was called, Brendan Gomez. I'm going to shout out anyway because Just look how smooth this is. This is really smooth. Yes, it's a little choppy, but again, you can tell what's going on. You can tell, like that move right there. Like with Chris, that rail wreck there, you can tell Chris Buescher, Ross Dillon going straight. Of course, Dillon's like taking that couple of cars with him. You can tell what's going on. I do appreciate that. Another thing I also appreciate as well is the carpet racing. We're going back to basics. No, just how Stop Motion was back then. No like massive track, like handmade track we make these days. No, just simple, just cardboard racing with mega blocks as the walls. I appreciate that. I love the creators who just kind of use base system. Another thing I also appreciate as well is how the graphics or the somewhat leaderboard is on the bottom and not on top. That's kind of a CW Xfinity-esque this year, which I do appreciate. The change up of, I do like that. I really have not much really to say for them. Also, they are going back to the racing at Tiburon in this race. Fancy track, famous NR track, I have nothing really to say, apart from one thing, which is more of a nitpick. I definitely would maybe try and get some green paper to indicate the grass, because that's something I did mention back then, but I really would like it if you got some green paper and indicated that was grass right there. Because it is confusing on what is and what isn't the grass. But other than that, just other than that little nitpick, that little tiny nitpick, I have nothing else wrong to say. Go check out Harvard99 if you haven't yet, because this Stop Motion, very smooth. I will say, for any creators out there, I forgot to mention it for Diecast Racing Network, I definitely would also add NASCAR Stop Motion to your titles as well, because then it will get recommended to YouTube, and then people will find your Stop Motions. Just something to hint out there, just because I forgot to mention for Diecast, I'll mention it here for Harvard99 fan. Other than that, check out Harvard99, and we'll move on to our next Stop Motion creator. Next up we got MCS Racing, a guy who was also on Stop Motion shoutouts back then, but he's back because he deserves a shout. I think this guy deserves way more credit than he gets, because I mean, look at this monster track. It's pretty good. I like how I like the asphalt. It looks very realistic. Something that I don't see on a lot of on Stop Motion creators. Okay, yeah, obviously they have asphalt, but I like the asphalt here. Definitely looks realistic to like a Montreal standards. The Stop Motion as well isn't too bad. You can tell what's going on. It's not the smoothest, obviously, like we've seen from a few today, but you can definitely tell what's going on. The graphic, obviously there's not like much graphic, it's just kind of a lap counter. I definitely maybe add like a border around the lap counter, just so it doesn't blend into the background, because it kind of is blended to the background, so just kind of maybe add a border there, so just kind of at the zone, kind of little area. Other than that, there is not much else I can really say, apart from maybe one other thing, which has to do with the racing. Now, Monster obviously is like a one inside lane groove only, but for the other kind of races, I do see that the inside lane is preferred all the time, so I would maybe try and find a way to have both the outside and inside lane both preferable, so the inside lane isn't always the preferred lane everyone has to go down to. But other than that, this is really good. Just tweak up a few things here and there, and you've got yourself a really good Stop Motion, and you've definitely got a bright future ahead of you, so go check out MCS if you haven't yet, and we'll move on to our last creator of the day. And finally, the last creator I have on here is VarietySound, a guy who I don't think many people know either, but I'm going to give a shout out here because, well, firstly, he's a UK NASCAR creator like me, so I take pride in that. And two, I do like his Stop Motion here. It is a bit choppy. I definitely would say maybe take a few more pictures on Stop Motion. It's not the worst though, but definitely take a few more. But again, you can tell what's going on. You can tell what's going on here. Again, another carpet racetrack. I love my carpet racetrack races. The track is made out of the Gold Series boxes with a diecast on the side for some reason. Maybe at some point, maybe try and make an actual racetrack as well. That's more of a nitpick, but at one point maybe try and make an actual racetrack. But again, that's more of a nitpick for me. Another thing, I don't think the graphics are that bad either. Again, I definitely would try and add a box every time one appears up, or just have the lap counter just kind of up top, and just so it doesn't really reappear and disappear, because I don't really like that. I just kind of like when the lap counter is kind of up top. But other than that, this is a really good race. Go check out VarietySound if you haven't yet, because he doesn't do anything so much race right now, but he definitely he does want to race here and there, which I do appreciate as well. So go check out Variety Sports if you have not yet, and that's kind of it right here. Also, by the way, this is called the Battle of the Underdogs. Where's Ty Dillon? He's an underdog. Where is Ty Dillon? We need Ty in this race. He's an underdog. And you didn't think I mentioned Titan in this video. Nah, we have to mention Titan at least once in every video now, don't I? And that will do it for this video. Those are 10 YouTube NASCAR race drivers who I think have a bright future ahead of them. I think deserve more attention and views that they currently have right now. That will do it for this video. Again, I'll remind you, please don't comment down below suggesting, oh, can I be in the next one, please? Because I probably won't do a next one. Again, it depends how well this video does. If it does well, then I might do a part 2. If not, then I probably won't do a part 2. So, just to clear all you guys there. Anyways, that'll do it for this video, and hope these guys get more attention they deserve. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will more likely be the Home Special at Darlington. So, this is me at CS Nevek. So, this is me, CS Racing Nevek. Now though.